Sixth formers are to get lessons to help prepare them for leaving home. They'll be taught things like the price of milk, how often to wash their sheets, how to draw up a cleaning rota and how to deal with really irritating flatmates. Now, it's to help prepare them for life away from home. So are these a good idea, Janet?
Definitely. When I went to college, there were like 95 boys, 5 girls, and of the boys, the vast majority had been to public school, privately educated. They had no idea how to cook. And I remember one kid coming in after 2 weeks and he hadn't eaten. I mean, he was existing on chips. He didn't even know how to boil an egg. Of course, I acted a little bit superior, but I was not a lot better because I didn't really do cookery at school. When I eventually moved into a flat, I shared this flat and I had no idea about, you put food on a shelf, you've got to mark out your section of the shelf. In flat sharing, in the fridge, you've got to mark all your food containers because people are going to steal your food. And I lasted about 6 months in that flat before we moved out. And we couldn't afford a cooker in our new flat, a new one. So we got one from a junk shop. And my partner and I split this cooker down into bits, carried it all the way to our new flat up 5 floors, and then we had to reassemble it.
You didn't hook it up to the gas, did you?
Yeah, you'd never be allowed to do that now.
No, you would not.
But isn't that all part of it? I think that's, you know, what's great is you've got those stories to tell and you learned as you went through and learnt by your mistakes. And I just think we're teaching them everything.
Well, you know how naive I was. I might have had 11 O-levels and loads of A-levels, but I actually thought electricity leaked out of the plugs in the socket. I thought it was like a liquid you had to keep in. So in my first flat, I went round pushing plugs in all the sockets. What's up with her? I don't want to waste electricity.
Yeah,
It's very funny that you're talking about food. Karen went to Bristol University, and the first time we went down, my mum had baked all this bread, and I had bought her the biggest box of chocolate eclairs that she really loved. And so we put them all in the fridge on the shelf that was marked.
Communal fridge.
And when we came back from a cup of tea, the rest of the flatmates had eaten all the eclairs. And, you know, she never, ever forgot it. But, you know, I'm sure we all have stories about, like, when we started to cook. I was useless. My mum was a brilliant cook, but she clearly didn't teach me. But when I was married, my first marriage, I was wanting to thank a couple of people for something they'd done for us. And I thought, it'll be posh, because I'll buy a duck. And I'll cook the duck, except that I tried to cook it from frozen. And so every time I put the fork into the duck, it just wouldn't cook. And by this stage, we had the starter. You know how prawn cocktail was the big thing then? Yeah. And I thought that was great. They enjoyed that. And then I would prick it again, the thing, and still the blood ran out. And in the end, I said to my husband, you've got to go to the chippy and you've got to get, like, chips and chicken. But I didn't tell them. And so, therefore, the place was reeking of the fish and chip shop. And it was only years later I said, you know that meal? The duck never cooked. So.
I think lessons are a good idea.
Do you?
I do, because, I mean, I had home economics when I was at school and everything, and I thought that was really good to learn how to make a jam roly-poly and everything else. But when I'd be at home, I'd be watching my aunts cooking, and you have to watch and know what's going on, but you miss that ingredient that's going in, and everything tastes totally different if you miss that one ingredient. So I think it's good that they can... Because I don't even have that much time to show my children how to cook.
So your parents were good with you and your grandma and stuff, but you're not good with your kids teaching them.
I'm too busy.
You're too bossy. What do you mean too busy? I can just see you in the kitchen. They're coming in. You like me. You want to be in control, don't you?
Yeah, I want to be in control, but I'm very happy. I've written down instructions for both of my children on how to do this and how to do that if they like it. I write it down and they follow it step by step.
You just don't teach them because you don't want them to leave home, Brenda.
Well, that's true.
That is true.
I know one student, by the way, hadn't changed the sheets for 6 months.
Is that bad?
Pretty bad.
When I first moved away from home, I didn't have a clue. My mum used to do everything, and I was the youngest of 8, so I literally didn't have to do anything. And I cooked my first roast dinner and phoned her up, hysterically crying on the phone, going, Mum, it's bad enough that I'm eating this chicken, but it's just given birth. And I cut into it, and I cooked it with the giblets. And she was like, Lord God, Colin, don't eat the chicken, you'll die.